it's hard to keep it going,
Yes.
right? People tire of you, right?
Yeah.
And they want something new. And so you have an image, let's say you're the siren type and it's a woman and she's kind of projecting all of this sexual energy. It's exciting. She'll get an audience. She's getting a little bit older, somebody younger, the different look comes about. Suddenly, like a magnet, everyone goes to this other person. So I've had a few people, celebrities, people in the music business who've asked me about this game, but if social, because a lot of the art of seduction and the 48 laws of power is about absence, is about creating mystery, it's about disappearing, it's about stepping back. There's a little bit of self-esteem involved. If somebody really, really wants you, a man like that, it seems like maybe he's a bit of a loser. Maybe he has no strength, he has no will, he's just kind of a dish rag. Whereas the man who seems kind of interested but then goes hot and cold, it kind of becomes like an interesting game for you. You want to maybe sort of be the one that can kind of rope him in, kind of thing. But it's the coquette that we're talking about. That's the type of seducer. I know I'm very attracted to coquettes. It's been the story, and a lot of misery involved. The thing is, it kind of traces to your childhood, to your early childhood. I don't know if you had a parent, a mother or a father, who was a little bit distant or a little bit cold, and they will ask me, well, Robert, I have like 20 million followers on Instagram, and I can't step back. If I step back, people will forget me. But at the same time, they're losing interest in me. What do I do? And I tell them, well, you have to play the game. You have to step back a little bit. You have to create some mystery. You can't be so consistent where people know exactly who you are and they start getting bored with you. You have to mix things up. And I give examples of a lot of people, pop stars, etc., who know how to constantly play with their image and change it sometimes and recreate themselves and reveal other parts of their personality, right? I'd have to go more deeply into your online presence. I had a lot of pain from some of these relationships, and I'm not, when I met her, I was still in my 30s. I was 36, 37. I didn't have my head together. So I could fall victim to a woman without really realizing it, and then it would be too late. I was kind of naive. I still am to a degree, because I'm slightly the romantic type, right? What I've learned over the years is that there has to be a kind of a deeper connection between two people. It can't just be physical. And that's not to say that I'm physically attracted to her. She's very beautiful. We had such similar interests, in literature, in arts, in politics, etc. We're like two pieces of a puzzle that fit so perfectly together. And so it was probably mostly luck. I was very attracted to her, and I knew she was really interesting person, but she could have been toxic as well. So it was just kind of the luck of the draw. People today are so, I feel like a problem that a lot of younger people have, and I don't mean to preach here, but they're afraid of pain. They're afraid of being hurt. And so they want to be invulnerable. And so at the slightest problem in a relationship, they're just going to give up and swipe and find somebody else. And in this chapter, I'm talking about the metaphor we use is falling in love. And I like that sort of metaphor of falling. And people will kind of fall a little bit, and then they'll go, oh, no, I don't want to get hurt, so on to somebody else. But what I'm writing in here is if you just keep falling and falling and falling and falling and falling and falling, and you lose all that defensiveness that we all have, something, rather magical and transcendental can happen, where you can anticipate others' thoughts, where you feel like the boundaries between two people are dissolving. And then that's when it becomes sublime and it reaches that kind of level.
I know that part of it is that people are afraid of falling in love, but do you think another part of it is that people just feel like they have so many more options nowadays from dating apps and social media, where it's not just that they're afraid, but that they're too scared to commit?
Well, how about afraid and too scared? What's the difference?
they're afraid to commit because they think they can find something better versus they're afraid to commit because they think it's going to hurt.
I'm wondering if unconsciously there might be the same thing going on, right? So, yeah, I mean, first of all, there's nothing wrong if you don't want to commit. I'm not judging that. That's perfectly fine. And believe me, when I was in my 20s, I was like that myself. But a lot of people, you're looking for something that's kind of deeper than just, every 3 months. That can get kind of boring after a while, and it can become very unsatisfying. So deep down, if you don't want that, if you're avoiding that, then I'm saying unconsciously you are afraid of commitment. You're not scared that there's somebody better. It's just that you're worried that you're going to be hurt if you let yourself fall like that. If you give up if you become vulnerable, then you're opening yourself to a lot of pain. And so I'm just seeing a lot of, and I'm not judging, because people of the Generation Z, or even the millennials, you've gone through incredibly difficult times that I never had to deal with, with the economy, with the pandemic. And so being a little risk averse is very understandable. But I think it comes from a level of fear more than I have all of these options. Because at some point, maybe you don't want to have like endless swiping. Maybe you do want to have some kind of commitment. Now, you might think you have more possibilities, but back in the day before Tinder and the whole thing, I had as many options as anybody else. I could go to a bar. I could meet people, I was pretty bold. I was a rake, right? It wasn't that difficult. It's not like I didn't have options. There are always hundreds and thousands of women out there. Okay, so maybe it's a lot easier now, and that kind of changes your psychology. But the desire is still there for something deeper, right? Underneath all of that, there's something deeper that you want. And if you're not feeling that, if you're avoiding that desire, then I think it comes from fear. It's fear of being vulnerable. Because if you're saying this paradigm shift with flipping through that, well, you're still a human being, right? And you're still afraid of something deeper happening to you. I don't know why we're disagreeing on that.
I agree that the deeper meaning is there and that people are looking for this.
I mean, look, men and women are different, so we can go there. That the appeal of the variety is going to appeal more to men, because men are traditionally more promiscuous.
Right.
So there is that difference there. But a point is reached if you're a man and you've been swiping and you've had hundreds of women, where you get tired of it and you want something else, and you're 34, 35 years old.
Okay, I think that's part of how I'm thinking through it.
Okay.
So I've also heard this thing that men don't settle when they find the right person. They settle when they're ready and they want a wife and a family and they're ready for that next stage.
Sure.
So why does the fear suddenly change after they've dated enough people and they start wanting a family, rather than, let's say, in their 20s or early 30s?
Well, you're in a different stage of life. But I'm thinking that even nowadays, that's changed a little bit, where we're not seeing as many people in long-term relationships, as many commitments, or marriage rates are falling. And so I'm still saying that there's still that fear of commitment. But even for the men who've finally decided, you want a family, you want something else, maybe you get tired of it, and maybe not for all the best reasons in the world. Maybe there's financial reasons as well. Or maybe it's mostly the desire for settling down. I know that's what happened to me. I got kind of bored with it, and I did want to settle down at some point. And also I found that life very chaotic. And I like kind of order. I'm a Taurus, and I like things to be kind of orderly so I can do my work. I know so having a long-term relationship is kind of helping me that, whereas in my 20s, I didn't feel that way so much.
You dated enough women in your 20s, you were ready for the next stage of your life.
Yeah.
You saw so many people and realized that was not what actually was giving meaning to your life, and that a real partner would.
Yeah.
And that's the same as overcoming fear to you?
No, I'm just saying that people nowadays, because of the chaotic circumstances of the world and of their lives, And even with all of those options of swiping, it's too much. It's like overloading your brain, right? And so it gives you this sense of instability. And so it's almost easier to be doing that than to actually give the commitment, because you're opening yourself up to some kind of hurt and to some pain. And people, I think, are trying to avoid that very much. They're trying to avoid being vulnerable and being open to pain. And this is an easy excuse for them. So people often talk about the internet is changing people's brains. And I don't believe that. I think it's just simply playing into the weaknesses in human nature that are already there. And so the fear of commitment that men have probably had for ages has always been there. And this just makes it easier to kind of justify, oh, I've got all of these different options. Early on in the beginnings with email and et cetera, in the virtual world, that there is this kind of, the flirtation can be very extreme with texting and such. And so that dynamic of creating some mystery and creating a spark and kind of intriguing the other person is still psychology. So seduction is psychology, right? It's not force. You're not bullying somebody into a relationship. You have to make them kind of interested in you, right? You have to get their defenses down. You have to get them to open up to you in some way. So the tools for that are different. It's like the difference between, technology from 200 years ago for things now. But the game is the same. It's the psychology of lowering people's defenses, making them open to you, making them less resistant. So using, with the swiping, there's no seduction involved, right? It's mostly just, I guess, I don't really know what it is. So that isn't really seduction. But when it comes to seduction, that's a timeless game. And I talk in The Art of Seduction about language and writing and how writing can be seductive, right? And there's a kind of way of communicating that's a little bit open-ended and insinuating ideas. You can do that in email, in texting, whatever. It's still the same game. He's intriguing. He's playing on human psychology. We're fast. If people are too in our faces, they become predictable and familiar, and secretly we grow bored with them, and secretly we feel kind of superior to them because they're predictable, right? And they're going to lose interest in you. But if you can mix it up, if you can keep it on your side,